G'day guys and welcome back. So today I'm going to have a look at the ignition timing on my Hillman Super minx. Just a bit of a backstory on this car if you haven't seen any of my previous videos. When I got the car a couple of years ago now, it just never ran right. It was missing at higher speed. I ended up replacing the electronic ignition unit in the distributor and upgrading the coil. So it was originally points and condenser, and that was changed by the previous owner to Pertronix ignition system, and the wires had worn through and it was arcing, so it was misfiring. So I put an AccuSpark unit in, and yeah, it ran a lot better. But I've never got around to checking the timing. I've readjusted the valves because they were all too wide, the gaps. They're all to spec now. The carb on this car has been rebuilt, or when I say rebuilt, new gaskets, a new air fuel mix, screw, and thoroughly cleaned. The problem I have at the moment is, so it runs well, but if you run the car in a low gear, say second gear, and you hold the speed, it doesn't run smoothly. Now it could be timing, or it could be a fuel issue or carb issue. But anyway, today we're going to check the ignition timing. I don't have a timing light, and I was going to buy one online. There's a guy by the name of George who owns a 65 Singer Vogue who watches my videos. He's very kindly lent me his timing light. He's a retired mechanic, and he knows a lot about these old cars. Yeah, massive thank you to George. Really appreciate that. It means I don't have to go and buy a timing light, because it's not something that you use all the time. Now in the manual, it says under the ignition timing that it should sit at 6 to 10 degrees before top dead center. The timing marks are behind the are on the main pulley. Okay, so there's the pulley. Now that little indicator there I've marked with correction fluid is the timing marker, and then on the pulley there are a series of notches, and every notch represents 5 degrees timing. I'm no expert on this at all. This is just from what I've read. Currently got it set at top dead center, so there's a top dead center is the first notch, and also there's a mark there on the pulley, so that's top dead center. So I know this is at top dead center. Underneath the distributor cap we've got the rotor, which is pointing towards number 1 spark plug lead. Now, I've checked this before anyway. I've taken the spark plug out and made sure that the piston is right at the top. Yeah, so and there's no slop. Like, there's a little bit of, I don't know if that's normal play in the rotor, but there's no slop if I push it sideways, push the rotor. So I think that's all in pretty good condition. Oh yeah, so just something else about the distributor here. It's got a vacuum advance. It's got like a fine adjuster of it, timing, like it's called a vernier wheel, which you're supposed to use like if you like put different fuels in it, because this is a this car's from the 60s, so yeah, no sensors or anything, no ECU. It's all old school. Everything's got to be sort of adjusted manually, which is half the fun in these cars. I know the diaphragm works on this because I've checked it. It's not perished, or it hasn't got a hole in it, and I've checked that this vacuum line is not clogged. If you disconnect it and rev the car up, you can feel the vacuum. I know it looks a bit messy down there and it's a bit hard to see. I've made a mark down there with the correction fluid. It's between 5 and 10 degrees, so the first and second notch. So it's supposed to be around about 8 degrees according to the workshop manual. Yes, I know that in the middle of that big blob is roughly 8 degrees, give or take, and 10 degrees is to the right, sort of the right side of it. It was quite hard to get a thin line on there, but hey, you know, we're just working with what we've got. So the way we're going to check the timing is I'm going to get out this timing gun and show you in a minute. We'll connect it up. You've got to have the engine warm, which I've done. The engine is warm. I need to disconnect the vacuum advance and make sure that it's roughly revving, or the engine's ticking over at around 500 RPM. That's what the workshop manual says, so we'll guesstimate. If it's out, we're going to have to adjust the distributor, which apparently you do by unbolting. Like there's like a clamp down here. You unbolt it, and then we just twist, turn, advance. I think that's advance and that's retard. So this is the timing light here. So we've got the positive to the positive terminal of the battery, and the negative to the negative terminal, and then this is the connector which goes onto the number 1 cylinder plug lead. We'll just disconnect the vacuum advance, and we'll start it up and we'll check what the timing's doing. It's probably about 500 there, something like that. Actually not too bad. Okay, it might be difficult to see, but it's actually just over 10 degrees. What I might do is just adjust the vernier. I actually think we'll adjust the vernier and see if that will retard the static timing that way, and see if that has any effect. But that's actually pretty good. Okay, it might be quite hard to see, but it is pretty much bang on about 8 degrees. Yeah, they're quite interesting. The vernier wheel affects can adjust the centrifugal timing, and then you've got vacuum advance at a higher RPM for when you're driving at a faster speed. So the 500 RPM idle was just a bit slow, so I turned it up ever so slightly, and of course that altered the static timing. So yeah, I just readjusted the vernier wheel and marked the timing at around, in the middle of that blob, so it's around 8 degrees, and now it's pretty much bang on correct. Hopefully that timing's all dialed in. I don't want to muck around anymore with the idle. I'm not going to muck around anymore with the vernier wheel. Actually, I'm going to put a mark on there on the wheel to show where it should be. So yeah, I'll take it out again and we'll give it a run and we'll just see how it goes. But I'm pretty happy that I've got the timing set. Right, we'll see how the car goes now. I don't think there's much more I can do in terms of adjusting the timing. It's pretty much where it should be. And I've got the idle set slightly slower than what I previously had it. So with any luck, we'll resolve the issues. Still in winter, and it's supposed to be 22 degrees today, but it's nice to have some warm weather because we've had a lot of rain recently. Place needs to dry out a bit. kilometers an hour in second gear, and yeah, no, it's definitely smoother. Normally it would be, even in third gear, normally it would be running a little bit rougher, but yeah, no, it seems to have smoothed out. So maybe, just maybe, we've finally sorted it. Static timing is out, then that's going to affect the vacuum advance timing as well, so I think it runs at higher speed too. So yeah, it is running smoother. Well, it feels like it is anyway. Definitely smoother at the higher speed in the lower gears, so I think the timing's bang on now. It's probably running the best it's ever run, this engine, in quite a long time. Oh guys, thanks very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, consider liking and subscribing, and we'll see you in the next one.